So we are live. Perfect. I already see my people from Instagram joining. If you guys can't hear me, just comment 2. If you guys can hear me, just comment 1. And then for you guys who are joining in from Instagram, just say where you're from, what country you're from. I want to know where my viewers are from. Alrighty. Okay, this is good. So let's get started, everyone. So today's topic is about a winning digital marketing process. This is why it's very important. Sorry, guys, I'm just writing this down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to boil this down into 5 steps to really explain what it takes to find success online. Because frankly, I know all of your time here, all you guys listening, all your time is very important. So I prefer to not waste your time at the end of the day and just really lay out what it does it take to actually find success. And I say this because time is very important. When I started my business, there was a lot of things I looked into but never really started because frankly I didn't want to waste my time. I found different reasons why things wouldn't work, and my biggest problem was I just didn't know what would work. And so I would go to Google, search up and down, land on surveys, all these different very short-term hustles, and I just kind of was stuck. I knew I needed to pay off my bills, but I just wasn't sure how. And then I was able to eventually land on digital marketing, got a mentor, and he just taught me what worked right off of the bat. And that saved me a lot of trouble because there's a lot of other people that spend their time going around YouTube videos and landing on outdated content or rehash content, and they don't really know what works because they're just not really involved in that space. But I was able to get started with a mentor and just get the winning blueprint. And in the same sense, I'm here to give you guys the winning blueprint so you guys don't have to waste your time. Now, I do understand because in the last live, some people might have to leave early. Maybe they're at work right now. They're catching me during their lunch shift. And so if you do have to leave early or anything like that, just, if you're looking on this from YouTube, just be sure to subscribe, and if you're looking at it from, TikTok, Facebook, or Instagram, just follow my profile. You'll be able to either, access the replay there or just follow along here. If you guys do need the replay, this is going to be posted on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe. You're not going to want to miss out because I'm going to be diving into a lot of very, giving a lot of value and giving a lot of actionable steps. And so you're not going to want to miss out. Just be sure to subscribe. And so we are going to start diving in now. So the first step, very simply, the first step for you to have a winning digital marketing process, formula, whatever you want to call it, starts with your product. This is super important because if you start with the wrong product, then that can immediately determine how easy your journey will be or how difficult. And here's why. There's a couple things you want to look out for when you're looking for a game-winning product. You want a product that's in high demand. This is super important. There actually has to be a market demand for it. Because if you're selling something, because some people, they're like, oh man, I want to promote my passion. And there's definitely a place for that. And there is room for that as well. But some people are like, I'm going to promote this because I'm comfortable with it. But if there isn't a large market, then who are you selling to? If it's not in demand, no one actually wants this product, then you're out of luck. There's some people that they're only going to be able to sell so much because they're not speaking to a full room. Imagine like this. You chose a product that doesn't have a lot of demand. That's like trying to, sell something in a pretty much empty room. You chose to sell your product in a room with 10 people. Granted, those 10 people might buy, but what happens after they buy? Then you're out of luck because there's only 10 people. Now, what if you start with a product with much higher demand, something that people actually want? Then that's a very different story. What happens there is, imagine going into a room where there's 1,000 people. You get maybe 50 of them to buy. You show up next week, another 1,000 people. Or even if it's the same 1,000 people, there are still more and more people who will buy your product. And so if you go for a product with a low demand, you cap the amount of money you can make. Imagine starting a job where they tell you after you work like three or 4 weeks, there's nothing left for you, right? Almost like contract work in a sense. Like you work for like X amount of months and now you're out of luck because the product isn't in high demand. But if you start with a product with lots of demand, that's a very different story. There's a large market for you to go to. There's lots of people to go around. And so that's one of the main things you're going to want to look out for. You actually want to work in a scenario where there is a large market. Now, here's the other thing, right? There are some cases, there are some markets where there is a large market for it. Now, the next important thing is, are there potential buyers within there that you can easily find, that you can easily target? Can you actually reach these people, right? And I'm going to show you guys how to do that actually for free, and how you can use the social media algorithms to get in front of your perfect customer for free. And because the thing with social is, it is actually really smart. The algorithm is really smart because it knows how to find your perfect customer. It knows how to find your audience members. And so when you want a product that has high demand and then easily targeted people. Because if there's a high demand, but you can't get in front of these people, then you're out of luck. But through social, you can do that because social media works based on an algorithm where when it sees these people engaging with your content, it's going to look for more and more of those people. And then the very last thing to have a good product is there has to be enough money to be made from it for it to actually be worth it. Some people, they might promote makeup products. You see that all the time on YouTube. And they might promote makeup because they love makeup. But if they don't have a large audience, then what does that mean for them? They're kind of out of luck. Because, if the makeup thing already costs like maybe like $30, right? Maybe after they get it sold through their link, maybe they walk out with like $9. Now, granted, $9 is still money. However, it's not enough money to make a dent unless you have a very large audience. That's what's going to make the difference here. You don't want a circumstance where after you make your sale, you did all your work, you made one sale, and now it's hardly worth it. It's not worth it for your time, right? And so you want a product where after all is said and done, everything is sold, you actually walked out with a reasonable amount of time, a reasonable income to compensate for your time, right? So the example I can give you is, physical products and digital products. And so the tough part with physical products is that it's physical. It has to be made. It has to be stored. It has to be shipped. And because of that, that's going to take away from the amount of money you can make. Because, the company that's allowing you to sell their product, they're definitely not taking the short end of the stick. They are definitely not selling it for nothing, right? And so there's already a portion you pay to that company for them to make the product. And then whatever goes to storage and whatever's, goes to shipping, you get what's left or whatever they give as a commission rate. And so that's why with like makeup, right? You sell it, but even though that thing might have cost $50, you only walked out with 10 because there had to be a cost to that product. Now, this is why you want to work with digital products. When you work with a digital product, it's not physical, doesn't cost any money to make after it's already made. Sending someone a download link isn't going to cost the company $10. That's not the case. And so because of it, you can have a much more profitable situation. You can have a situation where you can make 100% profit margins or 90, something really high. And then if the cost of the product is on the higher end, you walk out with a lot more. And so imagine this. You could start with makeup or just whatever product you really like. Maybe you just like, you like phone batteries. Maybe that's what you're comfortable with. You could sell phone batteries and make $9 at a time. Or you can sell a digital product that's packed with value, that's sold at a high price, and then walk out with $900. Two very different scenarios. Because you would have to sell 100 car batteries to walk out with the same amount of money as selling that one digital product. That's the first thing. Now, the next thing is after you have your product, because this is really important, you start with the right product because you want it to be a situation where it's profitable for you to continue. That's the thing. The next thing is once you have the right product, you need to define your perfect customer. That's the big thing. You want to know who your perfect customer is. Now, the reason why is because if you try to sell to everyone, you sell to no one. That's the thing. If you try to speak to everyone, you speak to no one. No, if you just try to appeal to every single person in the market, then you end up making a lot less money. And no one's going to relate to your message. No one's going to resonate. And that's really important because people are going to buy a product that they feel that's actually like meant for them, that the messaging speaks to them. When they listen to it and they're like, wow, that would so help my circumstance. But if you try to speak to everyone, then the problem you're going to run into is people are going to listen. Well, that's just not me, right? Oh, that's not my problem. And that's because you didn't hone down on anyone. You tried speaking to everyone. That's the problem. So you want to define who your perfect customer is. Now, while I say this, some of you guys might be thinking, well, how do I do that? Right? Chris, you're telling me I need to find a perfect customer. Well, I mean, what does that mean? Right? And so a good way to do that is taking a look at yourself 5 years ago before you knew about this product and then kind of describing your journey and transformation. And so before you found this product, there were certain pain points you had that led you to it. That's the thing. So you 5 years ago, before finding this product, was a very different person than the person right now. And so for you to actually speak to your perfect customer, honing in on who you were 5 years ago is a really great way to do it. This is where like people talk about like not forgetting your roots in a sense. And so, for example, for myself, when I started this live and speaking with you guys, I told you about my journey to finding the right answer. And for myself, where I am now that I have the answer, that might not seem so valuable. You guys, after you find the answer, after you know the product, it might not seem as valuable, but you got to remember there's somebody out there that has the same problems that you had, but they don't know the answer. And they suffer for not knowing the answer for whatever it is, right? Because for me, for every day that I couldn't figure out how to make more money outside of my job was another day I was behind on my bills. It was another day where I had to deal with the shame of asking family members and friends, I need help with the bills because at my job, I wasn't able to make enough, and I tried with my job. I tried getting a raise. I still wasn't able to make enough. I wasn't able to keep up with inflation. That's the thing. And so when you consider those pain points you had previously, and then use that for you to understand who your perfect customer is and get an idea of what their motivations are. What are their fears? That's the thing. There's a lot of guesswork you don't have to do because you can actually just think about yourself. So, alrighty, why did I want an online business? I was afraid of not being able to pay my bills. I didn't like to have to ask family members. I didn't like, being behind, right? And so those pain points that you had, you can sure bet that your perfect customer also has pain points like this. So when you take all those things and consider it all together, it gives you a good picture of who your perfect customer is. And it allows you to craft a message to speak directly to that person. You know, you don't want a scenario where you're trying to speak to 5 different people at once. You just want to create a message that resonates so well with one person that they feel that you're speaking directly to them in the room. Where even if it's like you make your video, speaks to however many people, how many people watch it, what you want is for them to leave that video feeling that you were speaking directly to them. And you'll do that by mapping out your perfect customer, by thinking back to your story, your transformation, the things that you realize along the way. So coming from a place where not knowing to knowing, to having a certain struggle, then to, having a certain struggle to not having a certain struggle. Like, for example, if granted, I mentioned earlier, like makeup's not a great example, but there are some people that have like let's say you were doing like makeup. There are some people that use skincare products, and their problem is that they find skincare products that aren't good for their skin, and that's their struggle, and that's what they hate. That's what they're looking for. They're going around the market for a skincare product that they can use without their skin breaking out. That's a struggle someone might have. And then what do? They find the product, your product, right? Your product that provides whatever skincare benefit, but without your skin breaking out. And that journey is something that you can use to create content. So it's the same thing here. You can apply this to anything. You can apply this to any product. And so you're going to want to document these things. You're going to want to know their pain points and know how can they lead those pain points into a place of comfort, into a place that's favorable for them, that's going to attract them and gravitate to them. Because if your experience is you tried XYZ and it didn't work for you, for someone to speak on those things and then provide, oh, the problem is trying XYZ, then they're gonna be like, oh man, I get that. That's me too. I tried XYZ. It didn't work. It sucked. It sucked a lot. But then when you provide the solution, they're gonna be like, oh, I didn't know that was the thing. I didn't know that there was an answer to my problems. I didn't know that there was a better alternative. And that's what's going to draw them in. Now, once you define your perfect customer and you understand your message now, what you want to do is start making content. All right. You did the research. You know who your perfect customer is. That's great. You know how to speak to them. Now, if you don't speak to them, they'll never know. No one is going to know about your product if you don't make some sort of content. And what I always recommend doing is starting with social media, and you can expand out into other things. Now, starting with social media is great, is because it's free. You don't have to pay to post. If your video goes viral and you got 1 million views, you don't have to pay, Facebook for that. You don't have to pay TikTok for that. And they'll actually pay you for that because they want to keep people on their platform. So the more views you get, they'll pay you. There's lots of different methods to get customers. You could do paid ads. That means that you also have to pay for the views. Does that mean paid ads are bad? No, they're great. But starting out, it's kind of difficult to do that. And so starting out with social media, it's a great way to do it. It allows you to have more time to hone on your message, to do some testing, to really understand who your customer is, because there's going to be a feedback loop. Because as you make content, right, you'll know, all right, did it speak to my customer or not? Did it do well or not? Did it get views? Did it get comments, right? Oh, I got lots of comments. And then with those comments, it helps you to better understand your perfect customer. And once you understand your perfect customer a little bit more, you improve your content. There's a feedback loop here. Some people, the reason why they don't find results is they do the same thing over and over again, never fixing a potential problem in the process. But with this, right? You define your perfect customer, you make content, and you let that feedback loop happen. You keep improving, and you'll notice you'll get more views. You'll get more comments. You'll get more buyers. But let's move along so we can understand how we actually get those buyers. And so now that we have the content, right? Obviously, as a business, there has to be some way to make money. And when you make your content, if someone watches to the end, then you can be very confident that they want what you have to offer. You can be very confident, because what they could have done, just like what you do or what we all do, is they could have scrolled on to the next video. They could have watched your video, looked at the first 3 seconds, and decide, hey, this isn't something I want to do. And then they could leave. But if they actually decide to invest the time, they committed, they stayed, because they're like, this sounds good, or I'm enjoying this. It provides them value in some way or form that they actually watch to the end, then you can bet that they're interested in the product. And so now that they're interested, you need to add a CTA. You need to add a call to action. You need to let them know what's next. Now, you might already set up your social media profile, put your link in your bio, and you would think, oh, people will just go there. No, people aren't just going to know to go there. They can't read your mind and know what the next step is. And so you have to let them know. You have to give them a clear instruction. And so once you finish your content, right, you have your CTA. You tell them, for example, comment ready for the information, comment ready for the link. And now from there, they can go to your automation. This is very important. I am also going to show you what the automation is. But the reason why this is very important is because if you don't have an automation in place, it means you have to do everything manually. And that might not seem like much at first, but it's very hard to keep up with, because we're all human. We all have things that come up. And what you don't want is for something to come up that needs to occupy your direct attention. And because of that, your business isn't making money. That is a big problem. So some people have businesses where it just relies only off a hustle, only off of them going door to door to do sales, only off of them sending out DMs, only off of them doing sales. You don't want that, because one day you're going to be busy. And on that day, you're not going to be able to send DMs. You're not going to be able to have sales calls. You're not going to be able to do a couple things, and then you won't have money. And then other than that, we're not starting a business to work the business 24/7 for the rest of our life. Obviously, there's other things you want to do. You want to spend time with your family, maybe go on vacation, maybe spend a little bit more time, starting that hobby that you always want to do. Maybe you really enjoy going to the gym, right? And you want to spend some more time in the gym. Now, what you don't want is a circumstance where you feel guilt for doing those things. You're like, oh man, I'm going to go to the gym, and now I'm not doing a sales call. No money's going through. That's not what you want. You want a circumstance where none of that pressure's on you. You can comfortably do those things and not have to leave. Because if your business relies off of sales calls, which this one doesn't, but if your business relies off of sales calls, you're out with your family, you get that call, you're going to be like, hey guys, sorry, I got to take this call, or else the money's not going to be made. But if you have an automation set up, then what happens is you can comfortably do the things that you want to do, knowing that they're going through the process. And now I'm going to just show it to you guys really quickly so you guys can follow along as well. And I'm also going to put the link in the live. So just give me a quick second, guys. So I am going to adjust this really quickly. 1 second. Okay. Just waiting for that to upload. Okay, so I'm going to update the live name to have this link here so you guys can follow along. So what you're going to want to do is go to the website right in the corner. Oh, right in this corner. Sorry, the mirror's flipped. So legacybuildersroi.com. So R as in Ranger, O as in omega, I as in index. You're going to want to go to that website, and from there you're going to be able to follow along and also get started with this process I'm showing you here. So you can get started with a business where you can make, $900 sales, 100% profit margins, because it's following the same process I'm talking to you here, that digital product, right? And it'll teach you everything you need to know and also get you your automation done for you. So you don't need tech skills to have your automation. That's a very big obstacle a lot of people have to starting. A problem that a lot of people deal with is they try to start something and they never make it past setup. But when I set up this automation, I was actually very impressed. And the reason why I was very impressed is that it was very fast. I finished it within 5-ish hours. And then also with this automation as well, it being done for you means that you don't have to invest all your time trying to figure things out. You don't have to try to figure out how to do like the email, like autoresponder and all that. All of that is pretty much done for you very clearly. You don't need to write emails. And then you can actually get this automation at no monthly cost as well. That's the thing that's pretty insane. I was very surprised when I learned that this automation can run without any monthly cost, because I've worked with a lot of tools myself personally, lots of different funnel builders, lots of different email autoresponders. And typically what you see is that the free plan is only enough for you to get set up. And then for you to actually run your business, you got to go to the paid plan. Like the free plan is useless to run your business, unfortunately. But this tool, the platform this is ran on, is actually really, really helpful, guys, where it actually has all the features you need to run your business at no monthly costs on the free plan. On the free plan, guys. You're able to run your business on the free plan and you'll be fine. And so go to the website that is in the corner on the left-hand corner right here. So www.legacybuildersroi.com. And then what it's going to do is it's going to take you to this page over here. I'm just going to share my screen really quickly. So just give me a quick second, guys. All right, screen is shared. And now I'm also going to flip my camera for my TikTok viewers. So 1 second, just hold on, guys. I'm here. Did not forget about you. Alrighty, awesome. So I'm gonna pull that back so you guys can also follow along. Now, one last thing, I'm also going to drop the link on Facebook and TikTok, so you guys can click on the link there. So just give me a quick second, guys. Perfect. All right, so now it's in Facebook. And now I'm just gonna send this over on TikTok as well. Whoosh. Okay, it's in the comment sections. Alrighty, so I'm gonna continue, guys. So now, this is what you're gonna want. You're gonna want an automation that where you can send your customers to. So when you make your social media content and it attracts your perfect customer, you want the process for them to receive the information to be automated. And so when they go to this page right here, first thing is, you're not just immediately giving them all the info. What you're going to do is have them go to a pop-up. So they're going to click on this green button here. If you guys are following along, click on this green button. The next thing that's going to happen is this form is going to pop up. And now they're going to put in their first name and email. This is really important because just like yourself and anyone else, oftentimes people don't make a purchase the first time they see something. There's studies where it says it takes about 8 8 touch points before they make that decision. And so being very realistic and understanding the science behind people buying, you don't want to just show them the information and then they go away and you never see them again. That's not what you want. You want their email so you have the opportunity to build a relationship with them, where you have the opportunity to follow up with them and create those touch points so they can go from someone who's, interested in buying, but they don't know you yet, they don't trust you yet, to someone who now trusts you and they're ready to buy from you. This is very important here. And so the first time you present a product to someone, they might be a little skeptical, right? The first time you see a TV commercial, you might not buy it immediately. But after seeing that TV commercial a couple times and seeing a bunch of different commercials about the same product, you may move from that person that was skeptical to someone who's now ready. All right, this sounds good. Different videos talking about different pain points. Sounds good. Different commercials talking about different pain points. And so when you collect their email, it gives you the opportunity to do that. Now, after you put in your information, you're just going to want to click on, yes, email it to me now. That's going to take them to the next page. And so now, this is very important. We don't want to sell anyone. You're not doing any selling here. You're just presenting a solution and giving them a recommendation, right? So this is the solution being presented. You're not selling one here. There's actually a video here, a video asset that does the selling for you. So you don't have to convince anyone. You don't have to invest your time into selling anyone. That's big. That's really big, because if you have a business that relies off of you having sales calls, then if there's a day where you can't have sales calls, then you're not going to make money. However, with automation, you don't have to worry about that. That automation is going to run for as many people that goes through it. So whether you send 100 people, whether you send 200 or 1,000 people, this page is ready for them to educate them on what the product is about. So it's really important. This is how you're going to be able to keep your time and actually scale, right? You don't want a circumstance where your business works good at like 5K, but when you move to 10K, now there's too many calls for you to handle. That's not what we want here. We want a circumstance where you get to keep your time and you can scale. You can scale to much more profitable months because none of it relies off of you investing your time. None of it relies off that. This is going to run automatic for each person. Now, I do recommend, while you guys are on this page, to actually watch it, because a lot of people, they like to just skip through everything. But then when they do that, they tend to just not really know what it's about. And that's not really the point of this. The point of this is so you can make an informed decision, an educated decision to be like, is this a good fit for you? And you're not going to be able to do that if you don't have all the information. So I highly recommend you take the time to watch this video. When you complete it, click this button here. That's going to take you to the next page. Now at this page, there's another video, quick thank you video here. Then they will go over here, click on the next button. It's going to take them to this page, another video page. And so these pages here in the middle is so they can be educated on the product. So you don't have to do any selling. So you don't have to spend your time on sales calls. Your automation does it all for you. And the great thing is this automation is done for you. You don't have to know how to build your website or click or the right text that's going to get people to convert, or know this component or that component, and then, what colors I should use, and then test for that. You don't have to do any of that. You actually get this all done for you, which is great. It's amazing. It's going to save you tons of time rather than you trying to figure it out yourself and then testing it for however long it takes to know that this shade of blue works better than this shade of red, right? You're going to get this done for you. And now, after that, they're going to click on this button. That's going to take them to the offer page. This is like your checkout page now. And now on the checkout page, this is going to have just all the product details that they can see here. And then they can click on any of these buttons to make a purchase. So for example, they can click on this one. That's going to take them to the $900 plan. Now there are different plans depending on your goals and your price point that you're able to enter at. And so you're welcome to join any of them. And then once you do join, there is the opportunity to upgrade. So any of these programs you join, they're designed so that you can actually make the money to upgrade to the next level. Now, my recommendation though is that you do come in at the $900 level. And the reason why is because the first thing is it's going to increase your earning potential at the end of the day. And so, for example, with the $300 level, making $300 a day, that's great. That's actually amazing. Why? That's 6 figures, right? But something that I learned from experience and actually working a 6-figure job is 6 figures nowadays isn't enough to actually live comfortably. Crazy, right? Like, I remember I worked my butt off at a job. I worked my butt off in school, ended up in a corporate job, made 6 figures. And then I was almost like dumbfounded because what I originally thought was making 6 figures should mean that I shouldn't have any financial problems. That's what I thought. I thought that's what it meant because everyone talks about like 6 figures like it's the bomb. And then next I was making 6 figures from my job, but I was still behind. And the reason why I was behind wasn't because I wasn't getting paid good. It's just that inflation was moving faster than how my pay could actually grow. That's what was going on. And then, if you ever work in corporate, then getting a raise is not really based off of only skill. It's a matter of getting recognition for your skills. Sometimes you do all the hard work and someone else gets the promotion. That's a real thing. Like, I'm not making this up, guys. Like, that happened to like my team. Like, I remember we were doing a software project. We worked our butt off. We actually did this other person's job. He was a product manager, but he just didn't really understand how it all connects. So us as engineers, we actually had to show up on almost like every team meeting to be that mediator and do his job. And at the end of that project, he was the one who got promoted, not us. He got a better pay raise, even though we did the work. And so, then you guys work corporate, then you guys already know it's who gets the recognition for the work, right? And that was the problem I was running into corporate. And that's why I was struggling to keep up with inflation at the time. Now, going at the $900 level, right, is so that you can earn as much as possible and you can effectively give yourself a pay raise. Think about it like this. You can work a job and then your problem is that, you have to fight for your pay raise now. You have to make the case. You have to have more hours in order for you to get your pay raise. You deciding to join at a higher level is effectively giving you that pay raise. Because if you don't, what can happen? Someone else might join in the program and might say, hey, I want the $900 level. And if they do that, that's great for them. They're going with what works for them. That's completely fine. But if you don't go at the $900 level, then you don't make a $900 sale. That's the thing. And so I do recommend you going at the highest level so you can have the highest earning potential. So instead of potentially doing, $300 a day, that's 6 figures a year, you can earn $900 a day. That's potentially $300K. That's pretty insane, guys. That's a pretty good pay raise, right? If I could show up at my job and say, boss, right? Boss, if I give you this much money, then will you pay me more? And he said, yes, I'd do it. I would do it. I wouldn't have a second thought. I wouldn't want to feel like I need to prove something first and go the hard route. If I could just pay in to earn more at my job, I'd do it, right? Back then when I was working in corporate, now I'm out of corporate. So going in for the highest level is effectively giving you that pay raise that we all want anyway. And so that's the automation, guys. So as you make content, they're going to go through this. They're going to put in that email, right? They're going to go through these video pages so they can be, sold to, that the selling and telling can be done for you. And then they're going to go here and they're going to purchase whatever works for them. Now, not everyone who goes to this page is going to purchase, and that's okay. Because remember, you got their email. You got their email before they made a purchase. Well, before they got to see the info. And now you're able to send an email follow-up. You can build on that relationship. You can talk on different pain points, different things that they weren't so aware of before, and bring it to light. And they'll oftentimes what will happen is they'll come back later. They'll come back later and buy. Some people are going to say, hey, I've been following you for a couple months. I've been looking at you for a couple months. And at first I just didn't know. So I just watched. But now, after following you, seeing your emails, seeing your videos, I think I'm ready. I want to get started now. And so that's why you want to collect the email here, so you can build that relationship, so they can begin to know you, so they can begin to like you, right? Like if you were asked, do you like this person? And it was someone that you've never spoken to or only spoken to once, you wouldn't have much of an opinion, right? You would tell the person next to you, like, well, I barely know this person. And so, but the emails, it allows you to build that relationship. So you go from person on random corner of internet to person that I've seen many videos of, that I know, that I like, that has similar views to me, that has a similar background to me. And so that's why you want that email follow-up sequence, where if they don't buy now, they can just buy later. That's the thing. And now, the last thing, the very, very last thing, super important, guys, to the winning digital marketing process, the very last step, and it's the most important step, is trusting the process. I know it sounds boring, right? We walk through 5 steps, and I'm telling you guys that, and trusting the process. Like, why is that the most important step? The reason why it's the most important step is a lot of people quit on something too soon to ever find a result. I'll give you an example. Some people might go to college the first day. They might be like, oh, it's not for me. I want to quit. I can't do this. Right? That's too soon. That's really too soon. If you're like, oh man, I rode my bike and I fell the first time. I'm never gonna ride a bike again. I'm bad at riding bikes. Well, how you get good at riding a bike if you don't ride the bike again, right? Like, you gotta give it another try. And so the person that eventually takes this process and earns daily from it isn't the person that tried it once and then quit after whatever result that they got, whether they won at first or if they didn't win. And I'm gonna show you in the group too, so you guys can see that some people do win at first and some people don't, and that's okay. Some people, it takes a little longer, and the reason why is because everyone comes from different places in life. Everyone has different skill sets. One person might be good in front of the camera, one person might not be, but it doesn't mean that you can't become the person who becomes good on camera. I'm gonna give it an example here. Me, for myself, when I started, I was very camera shy. I never thought that I was ever going to do a live. And part of it was because, I wasn't very comfortable in front of the camera. I didn't like taking pictures. You're not going to find many pictures of me before this, because I didn't think I was very photogenic. And, one thing that I was very insecure about is that I have a stutter. A lot of times I stutter, guys. And it had to be one of those things where I had to grow out of it. But at first, I never thought I could do a live because I would stutter. I was like, oh man, I gotta film like little bits and put it together. I never thought I'd be in a place where I can just do it like this, right? And so, but I didn't start out like that. I became that person. I had to grow into that person. And it's just like for you guys, this process here, you get better and better with it over time, and that's okay. It's like this with anything. If you start a diet, if you start a workout plan, you don't just start it and get like instant results, or you're like, you just started a diet and you have the perfect discipline to execute it. But one thing I can say is, if you decide to just change your diet every 5 days, then nothing's ever going to work for you. Nothing's ever going to work for you. You keep changing it. If you keep watching YouTube video after YouTube video and never committing, then you're never going to go anywhere. This is like if someone decided to go to school and they kept changing majors. They're like, oh, I tried bio. I didn't like it. I tried psychology. I didn't like it. I tried English. I didn't like it, right? You're never going to go anywhere if you don't commit. That's the thing. There's a saying that people say. They say that the best diet is the diet you commit to. There's tons of diets out there. do crazy things, whether it's like if you eat at the end of the day or certain, portions and all that. Lots of different diets and lots of different, data that shows that, oh, it works. This person did it, got results. That person did it and got results. But they say the best diet is the one you can commit to. That's the thing, because it takes time to get results. The best workout plan isn't the one that, Arnold does every day. It's the one that you can commit to, the one that you can be consistent with. That's where you're going to find your results. It doesn't matter if you strategize the perfect best plan if you can't do it. That's the thing. Or if you don't commit to it, right? A lot of people, what they do is they do a lot of strategizing and like pathfinding, but they don't do anything, right? They're always in motion. They're always like looking into the next program. They're always looking into the next video, the next big strategy. And then they're never doing anything, right? They're never just doing what it takes, right? Like you have the information now. You know what it is. You just need to commit to it. Like I'm saying, there's a difference between motion and action. Motion only does so much for you. Yeah, sure, it's great to know a good formula, the right formula. That's great. But it's not the same as taking action. Because it doesn't matter if you show up and talk to the fitness trainer every day saying, I want to do this workout. I want to do calisthenics. Or I'm getting ready for that diet. I'm going to try to, increase my bench press by 50 pounds. You can talk to the fitness trainer about that every day, but you're not going to get fit. That's not what makes you fit. What makes you fit is going to the gym and actually doing and practicing the idea that you decided that would be good for you and help you find your results. And so the fifth step, the most important step, is trusting the process and committing to it. I cannot express this enough. There's no magic silver bullet that's gonna be like you do it once in your life, it's just magically solved. And that doesn't even exist in life, right? Like you can't just go to college and be like, I showed up to one class and now I have a degree. That'd be great. That'd be actually pretty cool. But that's not real, right? And so the same thing is like you gotta be real with this and know that if you want to change your life, then you gotta commit. You actually gotta show up. You actually gotta do it, right? And now, just showing you the process, I do want to show you the people who are also winning with this process, right? I'm not just putting something theoretical. There's actual proof. So I'm going to take you guys into the group so you guys can see all the different people who are winning here. So I want you guys to be able to see that people are getting results with this. Quick second, I'm just flipping the camera for TikTok. Those of you on Instagram can already see. I'm going to win section. And alrighty, I'm also going to schedule by newest posts. Alrighty. Okay, Ashley here. She's quitting her job. That's great. Let's take a look. Ashley, I'm quitting my job. I'm so happy right now that I could cry. I put my last day in at work and I'm solely focusing on my online business. I'm grateful for this opportunity. My life has changed in 46 days. You see that, guys, here? Granted, all of us would love to be like, I started my business and I quit my job tomorrow, right? That's not everyone's story. But it can be your story if you commit. She did this for 46 days. 46 days. And now she's going on that dream life path she's looking for, right? She's trusted the process. She committed to the process. She got her automation going on. She made her content. And now she's in a place where she can quit her job, right? But she would have never got there if she just, posted one video and decided, oh, this doesn't work. I'm going to move on to the next program. No, this program is working for people. There are people who are winning. You just need to trust the process. Scrolling down, right? Saturday night snack, $100 just in my account. This is a totally hyper something business. TikTok live, 20-day wisdom, $300 ding. This is from an hour ago. These are recent results, guys. $300 while she's on her live. This is 30,000 USD since starting in January. Scrolling down. What else? $300 ding. $100 midnight sale. Keep going. These people are winning because they trust the process, guys. They're doing the strategy I'm telling you about. They're posting on social media. They have their automation. $600 today. $600 on your anniversary day. Would that be nice? Think about it. On your anniversary day, you spend your time with your wife, and $600 come in. Let's keep going. 5-week process, 3.6K. Going on to page 2. $3,700 this week. Happy Freedom Friday, $600. First sale win. Just had their first $900 sale. Keep it going. $300 ding. $1,200 in the past 2 days. $900 days, guys. This process is working. Lots of people are winning. Lots of beginners are winning. That's the crazy part. Lots of beginners are winning with this. Woke up to another $900 sale. And so this works. And so just let's keep going, right? $822. We're on page 3 now. And while we're on page 3, full of results, we're not even past 24 hours. We're just about to make it to 24 hours, guys. $300 win. $100 ding. Middle of the night, $300 ding. July update, $2,200 so far. $2,700, $900. You know, it's not just a couple select few people who are winning with this. There are lots of people winning with this. You just need to trust the process and follow along. And so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to that website that I just told you about. You know, if you guys don't see it, it's in the corner. It's in the left-hand corner. www.legacybuildersroi.com. If you're on Facebook, it's in the comment section. If you're looking on YouTube, you can find it in the description below. And then if you're looking on Instagram, then you can see the link right there in the live as well. And so you're going to want to go to that link. That's going to take you over here. You're going to want to put in your email. Then you're going to want to go through these pages. You're going to want to watch it. I'm just going to press back. You're going to want to watch the video here. Absorb the information. Take your time so you can make an educated decision. And you're going to want to go to the offer page. Select the package that best works for you. And then you're going to want to purchase so you can get started. And so that sums up what I wanted to show you guys for today's live. And I'm just going to check if there's any quick questions. I'm going to be here to answer any questions you guys have. And for those of you who want the replay, because I know last time you guys asked for the replay, you guys can find it on YouTube. So if you just go to YouTube, search up Affiliate X ROI Official, you can find a replay there. Or if you're on Facebook, then you also see it on my wall. Alrighty, so that concludes the live. And so if you guys are looking on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And then if you guys are on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, don't forget to follow my profile. I go live at 10 a.m. Eastern, and I'll be putting out lots of content to give you guys value. Have a good day.